Long walk, teeny talks. Long walk, teeny talks. Long walk, teeny talks. Long walk, teeny talks. Yeah!
Welcome back, listeners, to Long Walk Teeny Talks. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am joined today by my co-host, my beautiful wife, Katie Bearden.
Hello! Hi, David. It's good to be back again.
Yeah.
And thank you for everybody who listened to the first Teeny Talks and reached out with such nice messages of encouragement. I'm not as well versed on the mic as David and all the rest of the podcasters are quite yet, so I appreciate your encouragement, and I hope that tiny little jingle got stuck in everybody's heads like it has for me and David.
Yeah, damn sure got stuck in mine. So, Katie, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, I was, spending some time alone with my thoughts, which is always a dangerous subject, but I had a handful of ideas, and I thought one that might be good to shed some light on this time around, still in the same vein of the arts and, I guess, performative lifestyles, so to speak. I wanted to talk about why theater. Out of all the majors, out of all the interests, out of all the life paths to take, why theater?
So for any listeners who don't know, it's been mentioned on, I think, probably all three of our other podcasts. The majority of us on these shows that host these shows are actors. I think the only exception really is Chris Barnes on Long Walk Talks and This Is a Work, although I have gotten him to act on camera before. Mm-hmm. But most of us do theater and some film. I do a little bit of film acting, and I primarily write and direct. But our main focus has been theater, and especially classical theater, and especially a lot of stage combat.
Yeah. So we actually have quite a few in our circle of friends, the usual suspects, such as Shelby Ray Patterson, Gina Belmont,
David Two Dogs
Hayes, Charles Holmes, that you've heard on previous podcasts. Like we're all in this wonderful theatrical group, and Robert Bradford as well.
Stan Wilson Lee.
Just about everybody that has been a guest or a podcaster on this network has some sort of background in theater. And specifically what I wanted to talk about during this teeny talk is some of those folks that I mentioned have been classically trained, like in a university or a college or a repertory setting, and others have just picked it up as an interest and learned and taught themselves. So I think there's a very different dynamic between how you and I, David, were coached in college and what ultimately led us down the life path of where we are today. Because quite frankly, when I'm an alum of UNC Charlotte, go Niners, but when I entered into the theater program at UNC Charlotte, I was not expecting to be discovered. I was not expecting to be whisked away to New York or LA to live that dream. All I wanted to do, and all I was encouraged to do by my family, was get a good GPA, get the degree. They being like all of working America just wants to see that you completed something. Mm-hmm. So that's really kind of what got the hamster in the wheel turning in my mind about why was it so directed in a way for it to be in a university setting so regimented, as far as like it's very difficult to judge and critique art, right? Because what you perceive as art and what I perceive as art could be two very, very different things. So in a university setting, it's very difficult to compare apples to oranges when it comes to art forms that way, because you were taught a very different approach to acting than I was taught.
Yeah. So for me personally, I attended Winthrop University from 2004 to 2008. I got my bachelor's degree in theater performance. And like Katie said, at that time when her and I were leaving high school and going into college, it seemed like the guidance counselors all over America were telling people, just get your degree. Just get a bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. That'll open up so many doors to you. And I think probably at that time, that was basically all you needed, because the economy was in a little bit better shape. And so I was just told, get a bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. And then by my senior year of Winthrop, when it was time for me to leave and I was doing my advising, my advisor was like, so where are you going to grad school? And I was like, I wasn't planning on it. You know, I was told that pretty much all you need to succeed in America is a bachelor's. And they were like, oh, no, that's not true. Mm-hmm. It might have been true a few years ago, but now you need a master's degree. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that a lot of people leaving master's programs nowadays are being told, oh, no, you need a doctorate.
Right.
You need to go and get that PhD.
Right.
But, I mean, I wanted to be an actor since I was a little kid. I don't know if anyone has noticed from listening to all these shows, but I fucking love movies. I love stories, reading them, watching them, playing them. So as a kid, I wanted to be an actor. And then I grew up and sort of had it beat into my head that was silly. And so there was a time when I was either going to join the military or I was going to become a lawyer, or I was going to join the military and then become a lawyer. And it was really taking a high school drama class and getting actual experience on stage that made me go, no, I don't want to do either of those things. This is what I want to do. So
I'm so glad you didn't. I tell you all the time, like, especially when we watch, military-driven movies or military-driven stories, or hell, I just get up in my feelings and just watch compilations of military people coming home to their families and their dogs, and I just get verklempt. But I could not imagine a world where our paths didn't cross. Mm-hmm. And it's just so serendipitous in that way that, we have this, and a lot of our friends have also met their partners through theater as well. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like a whirlwind of, hey, I want to do this for me. And in the same rung, finding somebody that also has those passions to express themselves and being compatible with that person, which is, really exciting to think about. I was told because when I started at UNC Charlotte, I went in as a communications major, and I was told so many times that you had to have a certain amount of classes and courses, whatever, to get through the degree, which I understood. And then you had all these prerequisites. Well, halfway through my sophomore year, I discovered through my advisor that a lot of these comm classes that I wanted to take were being filled by juniors and seniors just now declaring their major as communications, because I'm not sure how it was at Winthrop, but what happened at UNC Charlotte is you had to declare a major by your second semester of your junior year. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, oh my gosh, thinking about back on it now, it's like, oh man, way to, sit on your hands about what you want to do and what college you want to be in. But like, I started very slowly figuring out, like, if I want to stay on this path, if a bachelor's degree is the end goal, just like you said, if that is the finish line, then I got to switch this up, or else I'm going to be in college for 7 or 8 years. Mm-hmm. And, part of that, I think, is just the system is a little broken. But I definitely saw an uptick in my GPA as soon as I hit that theater program, because I was finally doing something that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And now it's taught me so much more. Like, a lot of people look at my resume, especially, applying for jobs in corporate America. They're like, theater, huh? Well, what did you do? And I was like, look, we've all had exams where we had to float around the room like a feather. Like, it's It's wackadoodle to a lot of people, but it's also taught me how to speak to people. And it's also taught me how to network with people, because people are people are people are people. And in my theater department, I learned to read a person before I learned anything else. And one of the very wonderful, beautiful things that I still carry with me that I was taught is that your feet as a person point to what you want. So if you ever see anybody with their feet kind of adjacent to you in a conversation, it doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you. It means, I need another drink, I need to pee, I need to call the babysitter, whatever it is. But it's 9 times out of 10 directed differently, other than toes pointed directly at you, engaging in a conversation. And that's important. And I think a lot of people just don't know how to network because they haven't been taught like the body language skills that theater taught me.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest performance takeaway that you got from your acting classes at UNCC?
Well, I got hit really hard when I entered the program, because I was very, very used to that musical theater, like jazz hands, mug your face out to the audience, everybody like very open, very loud, very like, for lack of a better term, very theatrical. Because I was in drama all 4 years in my high school, and that's all we did. I didn't do any classical theater, nothing like that. So it really knocked me down a peg when I was told, like, Katie, this is not the direction we want to see you going. Like, this isn't what acting is, basically. There's a time and a place for it, but you need to figure out what you want in a scene. And I was like, the hell? What does that mean? You know, my world was just turned upside down.
Katie, this isn't a musical. This is Eugene O'Neill. You need to be sad.
Yeah. This is David Mamet. Strap in.
Less thous, more fucks.
Right. No kidding. But like, that's, to answer your question, I don't know what was the most pointed, direct takeaway from my education in the theater department. It was a lot of, I can tell you what I wish I would have done. I wish I would have taken more risks. I wish I would have auditioned for way more stuff, because part of this was the faculty at the time, but like, I didn't feel like I had anybody in my corner. I just felt like I was another theater kid. You know, everybody else really, you know, was invested in, you know, a certain track. Either it was costuming or lighting or you know, you couldn't just be an actor. You had to be an actor and a director. You had to be an actor and a special effects makeup artist. You had to, like, you had to couple it with something. Because, I mean, they were very candid. They were like, you're not just going to get by on your good graces and the fact that you can recite a monologue. Forget it. You're going to appreciate every facet of this art form. So, I mean, if anything, it was more or less like, I wish I would have taken more risks as an actor, and I'm fortunate enough to know how to sew and take some things out of the practicums that I had to take. I'm not very good at it, but at least I can respect the people that do it.
Yeah. I had a very different experience in that I did really well. I made all A's in all of my performance classes.
Okay, brag.
And I made B's or C's in all of my tech classes. I was no good at stage makeup. I was no good at scene shop. It's only been within like the last 5 years that I've learned how to accurately screw two boards together. And I was abysmal.
Well, I'm glad that's what you said.
And I was absolutely abysmal in costume shop. Anytime anybody asked me to do something costume related, I relate to them the story of how I was banned from using the sewing machine in our scene shop or our costume shop because I managed to break 3 needles in one
Oh,
an
yeah.
hour and a half
No,
class
you
period.
don't. Yeah, you don't.
I hand sewed everything, or I'm 6'3", so I got bolts of fabric down off of.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's very important.
But my biggest takeaway from my acting classes at Winthrop was the importance of listening.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Never to be one of those actors who is waiting for their cue, because nothing drives me crazier than when I'm watching something and the person on stage is clearly just waiting for that last word so that they can say their next line. They are pumped and they're ready to go and they're ready to get their lines out, but they're not listening to what they are responding to. That fucking kills me.
Yeah.
So
That's I mean, and that's a big part of it too. And I get real tickled whenever I meet folks that are in the film industry and they tell me all the film that they've done, but none of that ever really incorporates any kind of theater. And I can tell you right now, a lot of the movie stars that you look up to and really respect started on the stage. And there's a reason why. It's because they were taught those lessons.
And if you enjoy them on film, you should go and watch them on stage.
Oh, no
because
doubt.
holy shit, Sir Anthony Hopkins in King Lear, the Amazon Prime
Very
Lear.
good.
He's insane. Benedict Cumberbatch as Hamlet. So
Yeah, it's like they can do all these blockbuster movies and make all this money, but they never really forget where their true passion is sometimes, and that you'll hopefully, fingers crossed and knock on wood, that we'll get back to Broadway and West End shows soon, but it's really awe-inspiring to watch somebody like Liev Schreiber go from the screen to the stage, and I'm sure there are a lot of listeners out there now that have seen some of their favorite actors from the screen that any Joe Smith on the street would know them in the Avengers movies. But
I was about to say Chris Evans and his mustache.
Yes. Like it's fulfilling for them, right? It's something that celluloid's not giving them. And I feel like that's the answer to our question, right? Why theater? It's because it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling for the actor and it's fulfilling for the audience. More often than not.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
And let's be honest, I also have an overwhelming need to be seen and heard and paid attention to.
Of course.
Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have now 4 podcasts on one network that I am all involved with in some way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, and that's your baby too. A lot of people are like hating on Lin-Manuel Miranda for casting himself in Hamilton. I'm sorry, if I wrote a rap ballady like
Musical.
smorgasbord of awesome that is Hamilton, I would cast myself. Like that's my baby.
Yeah.
Of course I want to. Now I think behind the scenes there could be some sort of negotiation that makes me feel better that, he would say, this is my baby. We're taking a risk on it. I'll take a price cut or I'll take a, whatever. I won't get paid as much to make sure that this comes to fruition. Maybe that was a factor. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. And maybe that's why he cast himself as the lead. Who knows? But that's what I like to tell myself when people get all up in arms about that.
You and I disagree on this one. I watched the Lin-Manuel Miranda Hamilton on Disney Plus, and I really thought he was the weakest part of the show.
Well, no, I think we agree.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah. Like, I'm not sure who other of your wives didn't agree, but probably Kara.
Probably. For those listeners who don't know, I actually have 4 wives.
Yeah, we're not
4,
polygamous.
5.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm up to now. I have one actual wife. Don't get it
yeah, don't
twisted.
twist that. Don't add us. But there's a small contingent of ladies that we tend to hang out with, and we all watched Hamilton, of course, when it was on July 4th, and I agree with you. I think he was the weakest part of that musical, but everybody else carried him so well that it's like, who cares? You know, everybody else, like David Diggs, like, holy cow, the guy that played Lafayette, blew me away. Everybody was so good.
And Stan told me that he saw it on tour with somebody else playing Hamilton and said, whoever it was that was in the... Excuse me, I'm very sorry, listeners. Whoever it was in the touring cast playing Hamilton was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So... Yeah,
like, you would have to be, right? Like, it's just so lyrically fast and just, you got to keep up. And I didn't mute my phone, but, like, I couldn't believe for a 2.5 hour musical how fast it went in some places. It was like, good Lord. But, you know, what a big risk for him to write a musical about Alexander Hamilton, which, I mean, we learned about him in the 4th grade in history, but who knew? Who knew that could blow up so big? And for any other listeners who are fans of Hamilton, if you know somebody who's just an uber fan and you really want to piss them off, then whenever you hear the theme song, substitute Alexander with Adam Sandler and sing Adam Sandler Hamilton and email me and let me know how they react. I want to know. david.longwalk@gmail.com. Yeah, and then play them Long Walk Teeny Talks and let them get that jingle stuck in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up here, shall we do the great exchange?
Yes. Okay, listeners, what you'll want to do is close your eyes and use your imaginations, because David and I have decided for Halloween this year to exchange boo baskets. We normally do this around Easter time and give each other Easter baskets, but I figured, why the hell not? 'Tis the season. It's one of our favorite times of the year, so we made each other boo baskets. And you can imagine, and we'll describe what is in each one of our boo baskets, but you'll also want to go to the Facebook page, Long Walk Productions, to see a picture of our boo baskets if you really, really want to know, and maybe get inspired to give your boo a basket for Halloween.
Cute.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Enjoy this ASMR of bag sprinkling and...
Oh my gosh, I think we did this. Did you get the same bucket as I did?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I did. That's why I said coming in here, I think we had the same idea.
I see. Okay. Oh.
Whole lot of bag rustling.
Oh, what would we do without Target? It's the best.
Oh, she double bagged hers.
Oh, I did. Well, yours is heavy.
Oh my goodness.
It's heavy.
Oh my goodness.
There you go, my love.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so... Ooh.
And here you go.
Oh, thank you. All right, so tell all the listeners what is in your boo basket.
Well, let me take a picture real quick.
Oh, okay. Should we take a picture of them together?
Sure.
You need to work on your presentation.
I know. I'm sorry. In order to get it into the bag and you not see everything, I just sort of had to squish it all. I'm sorry. It looked much better before.
Yeah, I understand, honey. We'll get this all set up, and then I'll take a picture for the Facebook.
Well, mine has a whole shitload of beef jerky in it, and also a Ghostbusters Peter Venkman action figure from Hasbro. Holy shit, I love it. And because my wife also knows me so well, there's a bottle of Evan Williams in here.
Yeah. But remember the last Teeny Talk where Ghostbusters wasn't on your top 5?
I know.
So maybe I should just take it back.
Oh, no. Oh, it's fine.
No, are you sure?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I think I'll hang on to it.
Oh.
Oh my God, and a metric fuck ton of candy.
Yep. So David's favorite candy is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So I went stupid and just filled the entire bottom of the bowl with those Frankenstein Reese's Cups. So that'll be breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Pretty much, yeah.
For a while.
And also a bag of candy corn, because we are among the very few people in the world who like candy corn.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's 2 little mini bottles of Jameson in here, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, honey.
You know, because you're an adult.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, thank you. And mine has a cute little card that has 2 Dia de los Muertos skeletons on the front of it. in a bride and groom outfit that says, "I love you to death." No. And it says on the inside, "And after that too, happy Halloween, love, David." That's very cute. And one of my favorite Halloween movies is Trick or Treat. So I've got a little Sam head that lights up. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I love that. So that's from Spirit Halloween. And I've got some Reese's pumpkins. Ooh. And some Boo earrings that literally say Boo. And, caramel apple candy corn. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's different. And I got some some Trick or Treat themed socks. Oh, I love candy.
Oh, and yeah, that's one of those little mystery things.
Oh, yeah. So at Spirit Halloween, they have these little tiny mystery packs that have little monsters in them. And let's see thank you. David's given me some scissors really quick. Long walk, teeny talks. Long walk, teeny talks. Well, I open this. Long walk, teeny talks. Oh, it's the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. Okay, that's adorable.
He's really grouchy.
Yeah,
but he's my favorite color. He's green.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that. Oh, and I have a headband that's also in the shape of a witch hat.
Yeah, with a little bow on it.
Yeah, with a bow on it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, listeners, be sure to go on our Facebook page, Long Walk Productions Facebook page, and see the picture of the Boo baskets.
Yeah.
So cute.
All right. Well, thank you, hon. And thank you to all of our listeners out there. Ooh. Now, Katie, if people want to follow you on social media, where can they do that at?
You can find me on Instagram at KTB Won't Stop Believin'.
All right. And if you want to follow me, best place to do that would be on Instagram at DB Hensley. To keep up with the podcast, you can like us on Facebook, Long Walk Podcasts. If you want to follow my production company, Long Walk Productions, and see the photos of our baskets, search for Long Walk Pro, facebook.com/Long Walk Pro, or search Long Walk Productions. And we'll also be posting those pictures on the podcast page as well. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that at Long Walk Podcast, no S. So thank you very much for listening to this Long Walk Teeny Talk, and we'll have another one coming to you very soon, probably after the next episode of This Is a Work, which is going to be Hell in a Cell.
Stay teeny!